And welcome back to CentralCoastRadio.com. Well, now I want to talk about one of the most beautiful films you are going to see this year. The film is called Last Film Show, and it's from director Pan Nalen. Now, quite often when you get an invite to go and review a movie, there'll be a bunch of stuff in the invite talking up the film. And when I got this invite for the Last Film Show, it was talking about the fact that it was Oscar shortlisted, that it had won awards all around the world, that it was Pan Nalen's best film that he'd ever made, which is a big call considering this is the man that had worked on, who directed Samsara and Valley of Flowers and films like that. So it was a pretty big call. But I went into this film with all that in the back of my mind, but thinking there's no way this film can live up to the expectations of what the invite said. Well, I was completely wrong. This is an absolutely amazing film. You hear that term, a love letter to cinema, talked about a lot when a director makes a film that kind of looks at Hollywood or looks at filmmaking. I don't think I've ever seen a film before where that description fits as aptly as it does Last Film Show, because this is not a film celebrating the life of a famous actor or celebrating the life of a famous director or showing an era of Hollywood or anything like that. This is a film that is semi-biographical for Pan Nalen. It centers around the character of Samay, who is a young boy. He's played by Bhavin Rabari, and is a young boy who lives in kind of this out-of-the-way town in India. He lives with his parents, his mum played by Arisha Meena, and also his father played by Dipin Raval. And they're a pretty lowly family. His father's job is to make chai and give it to people who stop at the railway station that's near them. But it's a very proud family at the same time, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But one day, the father takes the family on a journey to see a film, and Samay's life is changed forever. Sitting in that cinema, he decides that he wants to become a filmmaker, which his father says straight away no, because it's a sleazy industry and it's going to bring shame on their family. And there's a beautiful moment there where Samay turns around and he says, like, what pride? Look what you do for a living. And it's a harsh moment, but it really shows where this film is going. But the other side of this as well that I love is that the film also shows the behind the scenes of the industry. So Samay soon befriends a projectionist, and they strike up a deal where if he brings his mother's food to the projectionist, he can get to see films every day for free. But what I think I loved about this film is that, yes, it has this amazing story that is semi-biographical for the director, writer Pan, but at the same time, this is a film that takes you back to when you first fell in love with cinema. When I was watching this film and seeing Samay see the film in the cinema for the first time, I was taken back to when my parents used to take me to the Cameo cinemas or the drive-in, and I'd be sitting in the back seat of their car looking up at the screen and just being taken to a whole new journey, like on a journey to this new world. And from there I started to watch stuff that was on TV, and it took me on that journey as well. I suddenly found myself being taken back to that time and really, really relating to this film, which sounds weird considering that it's about a young boy in India discovering cinema. But I think that journey of discovering cinema happens to us all, and I just found a lot of similarities when I was watching this film with my journey, with Samay's journey. And I think Pan Nalen has done an amazing job with that. He's captured that magic that that we've all had in our life, and he's captured it and put it on screen in a way that I just found, I'll be honest, I started to cry at times during this film, just because I could relate to it so well. I love the fact, too, that he makes the projectionist part of the story as well, because this is a story about cinema changing, and I won't go into that because it's a spoiler territory, but it was interesting to see different characters and their view on cinema and what cinema means to them. I also thought this film had an amazing soundtrack. It looks stunning as Samay goes away and starts to, on his own journey as a filmmaker, and starts to discover light and things like that and how he can use that. There's some beautiful shots there. Pan Nalen has worked absolutely amazingly well with his crew. His cinematographer, Swapnil Sonwan, has done an amazing job working with him, and it's just a beautiful film to look at as well. Not only is it a beautiful story, but it's such an amazing, beautiful film to look at. I can easily see why this film was Oscar shortlisted. It deserves an Oscar. It is an amazing, stunning film, and I'm hoping that a lot of people out there will go and see this film now that it is opening in Australia, because, to be honest, it's very, very rare to see such a beautiful film that tells such a heartwarming, touching story. So if you get the opportunity, go and see Last Film Show. It is a stunning film. It has got a limited release, so make sure you check your local cinema guide to see where it's showing near you, but I am giving Last Film Show 5 stars. This is easily one of my favourite films of the year. It is an absolute masterpiece.